topic which has been given to me is academic industry linkage for curriculum structuring. So, whenever I talk to the audience for the first time, I usually start with one of the aspects, which is why this session. So probably I'll spend some time on this why this FDP or why this session for you. But primarily, it is basically for this FDP's purpose because Madam Minakshi has taken a very pertinent and a very contemporary topic, which is very much pertinent to the today's educational requirement in view of the NEP 2020. So, what I will do is I'll spend 20 minutes or 15-20 minutes on this particular aspect. So, we'll see that whether we accept or not, but change is happening around us. So, I'll talk about what things are changing and a little bit impact of that on an academicians or on the institutions, academic institutions per se. Then we'll go and see in what ways academia and industry can link. So, primarily, I'm going to talk about the three pillars on which academia and industry can come together. And in from those three pillars, we'll see that what can be the avenues through which academia can link with industry and involve them in their curriculum restructuring or curriculum structuring, whatever you like to call it. So the curriculum aspects, we'll try to see that, and I'll also be talking here some of my experience at IIM Shillong, where I spent around 8+ years, and I'll talk about how we at some of the premier institutes of the country and abroad incorporates industry's view in their curriculum. So this is the one aspect. Probably many of you might be doing it, but let's see if we can go on this. So first of all, why this session for you? So if you look at the need of the session, one of the things that you have to understand today is that change is happening around us. And the beauty of the word change is that if I replace the alphabet G in the spelling of word change, the same word becomes, I replace the alphabet G by alphabet C, the same word becomes chance. So change becomes also a chance. So change is also a chance for you. And second, the only constant in the life is change only. And this is not something I am saying. This is being said by Lord Gautam Buddha. So I am, this will be true only. So let's try to look at what are the things that are changing around us. One of the big shift that is happening in and around us is the composition of the workforce. Now, whether we are working, all of us are working in an academic institute, most of us, or we are preparing our students to go and join the corporate world. This is something that is bringing a huge degree of change. Now, if you look at the composition of workforce today, it comprises of 5 generations together, working together. And majority of these workforce comprises of Gen X, Gen Y, which is also known as millennials. You might have come across this word millennials umpteen number of times, as well as Gen Z. Can anyone tell me what is the difference between Gen X, Gen Y, and Gen Z? On what basis I say Gen X, Gen Y, Gen Z? So most of you are from what generations? Gen X, Gen Y, Gen Z. Anyone would like to speak about this? Hello. They can unmute and speak if you are listening to me. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, anyone would like to answer? Gen X, Gen Y, Gen Z? Okay.
Sir, no idea.
No idea. Okay. Let me tell you. The uh, differentiation is on the basis of the birth years. So, anyone who is born between 1965 to 1980 will belong to Gen X. Anyone from born between 81 to 96 is Gen Y, and 97 onwards is Gen Z. Now, you may ask me, what does it matter? How does it matter? But let me ask you this, right? You know this symbol? Any one of you know this symbol? This is, this symbol. This I am showing you. So, this is I am showing you this. I hope it is visible to all of you. If anyone can tell me what is this I am showing. Anyone?
Uh, in K dramas, generally it is being showed for affection.
Absolutely correct, ma'am. But it is little hearts, right? So that's why hearts are related to affection. And what you have said is absolutely correct. This is, this is the most recognizable symbol or most used symbol, physical symbol. I'm not talking of emojis and computer generated symbols. I am talking about the physical symbol, right, which was used by humans in the year 2022. And this is coming from, as rightly pointed out by Kalpana ma'am, this is from K dramas or K pops. K pop is Korean pop. And how do I came to know about it? This is something I learned from my daughter, who is from Gen Z. I am from Gen X. So there is a generation gap, and which I learned from her. So she was listening to the music. I hope English is comfortable with all, madam. Sorry, I forgot to ask. Shall I use English or shall I use English completely?
English is okay, I think, so, for most of us.
Okay, okay. So if you okay, but someone is comfortable more with English, they can say that. So I was like, she was listening to the some music, and I was not able to make any sense of the words. So I asked her, "What you are listening to?" She said, "Papa, I'm listening to K-pop." I said, "Boss, I have heard about indie pop. I have heard about Anglo pop, but what is this K-pop?" She said, "You don't know." When I go, "No, I don't know." She said, "It's Korean pop." So when I go, "Okay," but then she showed me this. See, she said, "I am an army." I said, "What is this? What do you mean by army? Which army you have joined?" She said, "I am a BTS army." So I hope probably is Kalpana ma'am, any idea what BTS is? What BTS army is?
I think it's a this group.
Yeah, it's a boy band.
Yeah,
It's a boy band, very famous, and probably there. If some young people are there, they will be able to. I'm not saying that you are not young, and because I am not so young, so I'll rather say that some in the Gen Z will be able to easily identify that, will be able to easily relate to them, but Gen X people will find it difficult to relate to them. And that's why the reason is the preferences, the choices, the behavior of the people who are born in these eras, which I said 65 to 80, 81 to 96, and 97 to 2012, are significantly different. So as an academician, that's a challenge for us because we have to make that connection, as most of us might be belonging to Gen X or Gen Y, and all our students are from Gen Z. So we have to make that connection with them. And for that connection to be there, we have to overcome this generation gap. The second big change that is happening is because of these connected devices. So if you just look at in this slide, the number of connected devices in the year 2003 was around half a billion. And this number increased to more than 50 billion connected devices by the year 2020. I don't have the data till 2022, and this I am quite sure this will be going in the almost vertical line. You can see that the graph is almost going vertically upwards, right? You can see the rise here. Now this connected devices has given, this large number of connected devices has given rise to number of other interesting phenomena. One of very prominent being IoT, and I'm quite sure all of you are aware about IoT or Internet of Things. So when we are saying Internet of Things, it is nothing but all my things are getting connected through internet. So these are nothing but again happening because of the connected devices. So this is another big change that is happening around us. So probably some of you, I have seen a couple of names of people who have also already attended my session, probably on this aspect. So, but my questions to all of you is, which is the world's largest taxi company, which is the world's largest accommodation provider, and the world's most valuable retailer? So any one of you would like to answer that? You can give a write in chat, or whatever you like to call it. Okay, Alok sirs has given couple of answers. Okay, anyone else would like to try it out? Sandeep sir has given an answer. Okay, so okay, but still I have got only Sandeep sir. You have given only one answer. I have asked at least 3 answers you can give out of the 4 questions that I've asked. So world's largest taxi company, world's largest accommodation provider, world's most valuable retailer, and world's fastest growing movie production house. So if I'll say Sandeep sir is correct here, in at least in one of the question. Alok sir is correct in the third question. Right, absolutely correct. And Ranjit sir is also given the right answer. So the world's largest taxi company is Uber. World's most valuable retailer is Amazon. Right, and world's largest accommodation provider is not Oyo sir. Alok sir, I think you have given the answer as Oyo, but Oyo is modeled on one company, and I like to answer that. Sandeep sir, okay, just give me, okay, phone app. Yes, Alok sir is now correct. It's Airbnb, and while world's fastest growing movie production house is Netflix. Interestingly, there is some commonality between these firms as well. Can you identify a couple of commonalities between these firms? Any commonalities between these firms? Yeah, it's IT related, right? Absolutely correct. So now, yeah, you can say that most of them are almost 99% are US based. Absolutely correct, sir. And another commonality is this. So if you look at here, Uber is world's largest taxi company, but practically it do not own any of those taxis. I'm saying practically, not theoretically, because around 1% or 1.5% cars are owned by Uber. Rest all are not. But if you look at the number of size or the number of cars in their fleet, you will see that it's almost zero. Similarly, Airbnb is the world's largest accommodation provider, but this company do not own any of the real estate. And same way, Amazon is the most valuable retailer in the world, but again, practically, again, I'm saying from the practical aspect, it do not hold any inventory. Though it hold few SKUs inventory in its warehouse, which are very, very fast moving. But if you compare it with the number of SKUs that they sell, This number is almost zero again. So had I told you this thing almost 2.5 decades ago, in probably 90s, in late 90s, you would not have believed a single word of what I am saying right now. But today you believe that. That means this change is happening. Okay, another question to you. So what is happening to you? What is, as per your interpretation, what is happening, what you are able to see in this particular picture? Anyone? Kalpana ma'am, Alok sir.
Some fight is going on.
Okay, so fight is between whom and whom?
I think it's a. Uh, it seems with the uniform that it may be a.
Cop. The cop
Yeah,
is beating someone, right?
yeah.
Or the girl, right? Absolutely correct. So this is this is Dalit issue, not, I'll say, not racist issue, but yes, someone tweeted this picture along with a caption: UP police and atrocities. Okay, UP, sorry, I'm not able to write here. UP police and atrocities, right? So when you write tweet a picture, you have to write a caption, right? So they write, and this person write this whole thing, and then put up a question mark there, and tweeted this picture as this. And the moment this picture was tweeted, it became viral. It was retweeted few thousand times, and UP Plus was started to get trolled. I hope you all are aware what is trolling, right? The moment this was you people is got trolled, they came out with their explanation. They posted a video along with some things. So Kalpana ma'am, I'll ask you again now. Sorry, since you have answered first time. What is your interpretation now if I'll say to you that this picture which I've now shown just to you is taken half a second before this picture? Does your interpretation remain same, or has it changed now?
No, definitely it is going to be changed. In the first picture, the it's
Uh,
something else actually.
so in the first picture, right, you have interpreted that the person is, the police wala is beating the girl. Now it is something else, right? Am I correct?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Right. So the let me tell you what happened was, this is an incident that happened in the village of UP. UP is already in quite in news right now from some other reason, but yeah, UP police is definitely in news all the time. So this poor police wala went to a village in UP village to catch a culprit. Now that culprit happened to be the brother of this girl, who is this girl, right? Who is lying on the ground. Now, in order to uh, give time to her brother for escaping from the police, she held on to the cop, or this police wala who has gone to catch this his her brother, and she hold it on to her collar, and just just put all her weight on that collar, and because of that her weight, the police wala fell down on her. And this picture was taken by someone using the burst shot feature of your camera, of the mobile phone camera. So in your mobile phones, if you use a mobile phone camera, there is a feature called burst shot. I hope you are aware of what is a burst shot. Right. uh, so burst shot is where you click a single click, you press the single click, and 15-16 photos are taken continuously. It's not a motion, but it's almost like you can have 16 frames or 16 different pics of the various frames separated by few milliseconds. So what this person did, this person took out this particular frame, right? This one, where the police wala was actually was trying to get up. She was trying to, free himself from the clutches or from the hands of the girl, and was trying to get up. So you can see, when you try to, evade someone, this is their normal hands position. Someone is trying to grab your collar, so what you will do, you will try to push the hand out. And he was trying to stand up, get up, and that time the picture was clicked. So if suppose if I want to, UP police, can UP police arrest this person who has tweeted this picture for spreading misinformation? Can he or she be arrested? Can this person be arrested? That's my second question to you. Yes or no?
I think yes.
Okay. Anyone who has a different take on this? So Kalpana ma'am says yes. Anyone who has a different take on this? If they are able to listen to me. No, madam, this person cannot be arrested under the IT Act. The reason being very simple. The picture is not morphed. The picture is not fake. It's a real picture, right? I could have been arrested if I have posted. Suppose if I have posted this picture in a tweet, I could have been arrested if the picture is a fake one. This picture is not fake one. Second, if you look at the caption, what caption have been written there? UP police and atrocities ? And this question mark is a very, very important thing here. So if you remember the Sanju movie on the life of actor Sanjay Dutt, made by Rajkumar Hirani, right? Ranbir
Yes.
Kapoor starrer. Same thing here also. So this question mark, say if I have tweeted this, I'll say this is I am just asking based on this picture, and picture is real. It's your interpretation, right? What I'm trying to say here is this social networking or social electronic social media is also bringing a huge amount of change, and this is precisely in very much you know pertinent in relation to the teaching profession. So all of us are in the teaching profession, so we have to be very, very careful. I can see how today's students browse through the faculty members' social network pages, be it WhatsApp, be it Instagram, be it Facebook, or any other. So just a thing, and there are many instances where, in fact, there were a couple of instances. There was a very famous case, or rather, I'll say infamous case, where a lady faculty was thrown out by a university, an Indian university, because of what she has posted on her Facebook pages. So again, just think to it. Coming back to the change aspect. So this is bringing a huge change again. Another thing, many people says that change is basically a slow process. To counter them, my answer is this particular slide. So when you say the change is slow, let me tell you what happens in 1 minute. What amount of change happens in 1 minute on internet? On internet, in 1 minute, 59 million messages are exchanged between people. 59 million messages. Google search engine administers 4.1 million search queries every single minute. And this is 2020. And the moment I convert it to 2021, you can see that 59 million has now increased to 69 million. YouTube platform, every single minute, 500 hours of content is uploaded on the YouTube platform. So you can understand we have just started around 20-25 minutes back, and you can understand how much content has been uploaded onto the YouTube platform till now. And I do not have the data till 2022, but this is till 2021 latest data, and you can see that how the change is happening around us. This is another big change. So might have used many of the firms' services here, or you might have bought products from those particular companies. So if you look at it, what are the at least one or two common things between all these ones? Hello. Hello. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So if you look at it, you might have used these companies' products or services many times. And if you look at it, these are all startups. Very absolutely correct, Alok sir. Thank you. These are all startups, but these are special startups as they are all unicorns. And what are unicorns? What are unicorns? Or what are unicorn startups? Billion what, sir? Alok sir, billion what?
I think 10 billion.
What 10 billion, sir? Giriraj sir?
Um,
10 billion what?
Net worth. Net worth of
Absolutely correct. So not net worth, valuation.
valuation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely
Yeah.
correct. Yeah. Because net worth may be a bit
Yeah.
different meaning in the financial
Right.
domain,
Right.
but you have said is correct, 1 billion. So if the valuation of a startup is US dollar, I mean, here the currency is also important, not rupees, not INR, right? If the valuation of a startup is 1 billion US dollar or more, it is termed as a unicorn startup. And there is another term which is coming up, which is known as decacorn. So unicorn and decacorn is 10 billion, sir. Okay, Giriraj sir. So decacorn is 10 billion valuation. The valuation is 10 billion US dollar or more. And if you look at it, these are the unicorn companies or the startups that becomes unicorn in the year 2021, which includes companies like Grow, Echo, Growfers, Vedantu, Cred. You might have heard a lot number of these companies, Licious, Mama Earth, or Spinny, and so on. And these are the companies which became unicorns in 2022. That means the last year only. And you might have heard about these companies like Physics Wala or Unifor is an interesting firm incubated at IIT Madras. And then this is the latest entrant in the Unicorn Club, backed by Tata Capitals. So Tata Capital has invested a huge amount of money in this in the initial stages. And this is Tata 1MG. 1MG you might have heard, online pharmacy. But so this is why I'm talking about startup is because this is also in Indian context. It is also bringing a huge amount of change, as now many of the students, rather than working for 9 to 6 corporate job, now wants to have their own startups. And as per one projection, by 2025, India will be having around more than 150 plus unicorns. And India's startup ecosystem will be number 2 in the world. Currently, we are number 3 behind US and China. And by 2025, it is projected that we will become number 2, surpassing China as well. And there are various other things that are bringing changes. So like things like Industry 4.0, even your AI, techno. So probably the what I'll say is ubiquitousness of technology, as well as the change in the nature of career. When I'm saying change in the nature of career, right, this has happened very drastically in the last 2-3 years. right? 3 4 years now. It is more than 3 years, in fact, and that happened because of COVID-19 pandemic. So right now I'm talking to you online and I'm taking this session. But prior to COVID-19, I used to be very, very apprehensive about taking sessions in online mode. But now this is happening. But still, there are certain positives, certain negatives of it. And we are coming to terms with all those things. So, or rather, I'll say new normal now. Now, because of this, there is a large things that are happening. So some are positive, some are negatives. In negative terms, if you look at it, a large number of IT jobs are being cut. Some of the foreign banks are now filing for bankruptcy, right? So banks are filing for the bankruptcy. So this is as per one of the reports of 2021, that around 3 million jobs are supposed to be cut, and you have seen some of them being done by a large number of companies, which includes Google and Cognizant, Deloitte, and so on. Even the startups are also facing the heat. So there has been large number of layoffs being done by the startups like Byju's, which is one of the most valuable startup, or in the India, of India, basically on Indian startups. If you look at it, Baiju is considered to be one of the most valuable. They have also laid down large number of people along with Ola, Blinkit, and Vedantu, and so on. But in light of this, there is still some ray of hope. And if you look at that, this is last year. So what I've shown you, the cutting of jobs was last year report, and this is the just last year's report, wherein it is predicted that there will be a huge demand in the corporates. Now you will say, sir, how you are saying two contradictory things? So let me remove that confusion. The demand will be for certain job roles and certain skill sets. So if you look at it, these are the job roles for which there will be huge demand, right, which are shown here, while these are the job roles where large number of job cuts will happen. So job roles like project managers, IoT specialists, fintech engineers. What are fintech engineers? This is, many of you are from the technical domain. So what is fintech engineers? Anyone? Is anyone aware? Hello? Hello?
Hello? Yes, sir,
Yeah.
we can hear you.
Okay. I thought because you sometimes in the online, this is the challenge that you don't know what is whether you are connected or not. Okay, yeah, Sandil sir, absolutely correct. And not banking only. So fintech is word which comprises of two, which is the combination of two words, finance and technology. So fin from finance and tech from technology. So fintech. So banking, yes, banking is a fintech domain. Even cred is a fintech firm. Paytm is a fintech firm. Even your Zerodha is a fintech firm. So there will be a huge demand for the people who knows technology, so technical side as well as the finance side. So that is known as fintech engineers. So these are the certain roles and job roles, while these are the skills which are going to be very, very in demand in the coming future. And all this data, I am not saying this is not my thing, only I am quoting the sources as well. You can see I have taken it from various sources. So this is from World Economic Forum report. So as per them, analytical thinking, innovation, creativity, leadership, technology usage, monitoring and design, we are the sum of the skills that will be great in demand in the coming future. So the question is, when you are going to structure your curriculum, how do you inculcate those skills, and what are the areas or the domains that you should incorporate? So for that, one of the solution that is given is that you should ask the customers what they want. So in our management domain, one of the biggest advice that is given to any firm is you should ask the customer themselves what they want and incorporate whatever you can incorporate as per their demands into your product. So if I look into the academic world, one of the our customers of the academic world or of the educational institutes, one of the customers I'm saying here is corporate or the industries, as they are the ones who are going to employ many of our students. Now, if they are our customers, is it not make sense to ask them what they want? And for that, and that is the I was very happy to see the way Dr. Meenakshi has designed this FDP, because this is something which I have seen is talked about a lot, but still there exists a huge gap. That means the gap in incorporating industries' views on the course curriculum. So before I go into a more depth into that particular aspect, let's try to look at 3 pillars of industry and academia collaboration. Because this collaboration, you will see a very conflicting view. And why conflicting view? Because even the academicians or the educational institutes see it from both sides. So one side they looks at the positive, but at the other side, if when we try to implement, the educational institutes try to implement, and this has to be done through their workforce, which is the faculty members and the technical staff. That means you and me. So that's a conflicting view that happens. So though we all of us see the positive side and says that yes, collaboration is an integrated reinforcing element of research and education, a natural part of what academia does. Sorry, just give me a second. I think there is some problem there. Yeah. So if you look at it, so there is 2 views in this, conflicting views, where they where they accept that yes, this collaboration is going to give them a huge benefits, but at the same time they says it is difficult to do this because it's an additional task. This is an additional task because as a teacher I am supposed to do research, I have to do supposed to do teaching as well, I am supposed to do academic admin as well. And on the other aspect, if you look at it, this collaboration is different. In academic context, the academicians usually look at truth seeking, where they try to understand the phenomena, and they are more long term oriented, and they are driven by the peer recognition, while the business world, they are more towards the practical problem solving, where they want to limit their disclosure, because if they are going to make it completely open, their competitors may pick it up from there. So that's why they want limited disclosure as well as the private appropriation. and they are majorly driven by monetary incentives and management, as opposed to the academia world, which is primarily driven by self-esteem, that means peer recognition. So nevertheless, whatever the conflicting views will be, we definitely lead industry and academia collaboration. And the reason being, this collaboration produces new knowledge. And this particular new knowledge is not only beneficial for the academia, but also for the industry people as well. So if you look at it, there are large number of benefits, and this is something there. And one of the major segment there, which are major domain where academic institutes can benefit, is curriculum development or curriculum structuring. Mind you, now the question arises is why the industry people should come to you. Am I correct? Can someone will try to answer this particular aspect? Why industry people will approach you? Anyone would like to answer this? Suppose you want to go for curriculum structuring. So will the corporate world, okay, so Alok sir has absolutely said right this in this sense, that we are going to create workforce for them. But do you think that the corporates will come to you, sir? Even though you are providing them with the talent pool, will they come to you?
So I think they should, because unless they come to us and tell us that what is the latest, what is trending in the market, how come we are going to train those students to make their future
Right.
employees to be
Sir,
industry
but the
ready?
problem is, again, absolutely what you have said is absolutely correct. But my question is, practically in the real world, in the practitioner's world, does it happen?
No, sir.
Yes or no? No. Why this does not happen? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, excuse me, sir.
Yeah, Karan sir, go ahead, sir.
Yeah, sir. I think, but the industry people believe that we can train our student themselves. They believe that we can give them 6 months or 1 year of training, and we will make them capable, and even we
Right.
will shortlist them.
Right, sir. So then why should they'll not come to you, right?
Yes.
So there are now two ways, sir. Look, Karan sir has given a very interesting point here. Alok sir, let's try to discuss those two aspects. One is the industry people wants the talent pool as per their needs. On the other side, they are of this view that will be able to train them by spending an 1 year time on them. Am I correct? But don't you think it will cost them a lot? Because that's a reason being why I'm telling this is it's not their competency. It is not their focused of their firm is. Focus of the firm is not training. Their focus is something else in the business which they are doing. B, they'll again has to get a certain time period, and in industry the time is money again. So the question here is, what I'll take the point of Alok sir forward, that in case if you are able to supply ready for industry students, will they not be happy to take those students? But it's like a chicken and the egg, right? So they want industry ready, but they do not come because they are of this view that we can train themselves. So in order to answer this, let me answer break this loop. So first of all, let us understand they will not only come for curriculum structuring. The problem is academic institutes always want to take from the industry, but they don't want to give back. Please correct me if you are not in agreement with me. Please, you have this is now I'm just opening up it for the discussion, because it's almost all of you are academicians, right? You all have experienced that, but this is my what I have observed in my 18-19 years. So I have 2-3 years in the industry experience, and rest from the last 17 years I am into the academia. So what I have seen here is most of the institutes where they fail is because they want to only extract or only want to take from the industry, but do not want to give anything back in return. Now, my question to you is, what are the avenues do you think where an academic institutes can give back to the industry? Hello. Or if I'll ask me, if you have to start a initiative where you are actually inviting industries, so what should be the first step? What is for first thing that you should call them up for? Is my question clear to all of you?
Sir, for Board of Studies meeting.
Board of Studies, absolutely correct, sir. But before calling Board of Studies, my suggestion will be something else. My suggestion will be to work on their problems. See, Board of Studies is again this person whom you are going to call. You are just going to give him a peanuts. If you are going to call really a senior professional from a company or an organization, from a corporate world, this person has to spend nearly 4-5 hours, because some traveling time along with your discussion time, right? Now this is not going to compensate. This is taking from the industry. But in order to start the relation, you should first try to give back something, and that giving back is working on their real-time problems. So probably you can take their small problems, real-time small problems, and give it to your students as life projects. And this is precisely what happens in most of the premier institutes. If you look at India's premier educational institutes, they work on the small problems of the industry. And now this is not only one way beneficial, right? It is not only going to benefit the company, but it is also going to benefit the institute as well. Your students will get to know what is happening in the real world. B, when I'm saying you mean as a faculty members will also be going to know what is the new thing in the market. So this is the starting time point where I'll say, I'll skip this all theories, right? So my thing is, one, the education. Yes, what you have absolutely said, right? Like education and talent, these are the related. So you can always showcase that particular benefit. But before that, I'll suggest is working on this pillar, this particular one, the research and the innovation one. When I'm saying research in terms of not only on the faculty members, but students research as well. And then the social responsibility. So, So when you are looking at industry academia collaborations, no doubt the learning outcomes, the skills, as well as the pedagogical models, both are very, very important. So even probably, because the next step, when you are do a small numbers of real-time projects for them, then what happens is you get closer to the industry, to the company, then you can invite some of their professionals as a guest lecturers, as a guest speakers for your course. And that would not only enrich the delivery of your course, but at the same time, it will help you in improving your syllabus. Definitely, board of studies is again the next stage. Because see, as per one of my experiences, if you directly incorporate someone who is totally out of sync with your academic institute or whatever program that you are running, what happens is this particular person will tell you so many things which are not possible, because they are, many times if you call someone, they'll talk very specific items which will be very specific to a particular industry or a particular firm even, which you cannot, which will be harmful for the all the students, right? So some students may benefit, some may not. So in order to acclimatize not only the person or the company with yourself as well as your institute, start with small items, which includes going for hackathons, right? You might have heard of hackathons or not. What is a hackathon? Anyone is aware? Right. So use hackathons, tell the companies, giving them a problem. Absolutely correct, Alok sir. So use hackathons as the starting point of relationship with the academy industry. And then after you get somewhat, acclimatized with those people, then go for the board of studies. Then get their inputs. Because see, many times what happens is there is, so Madan Lal sir is saying integrating industrial training internship with diploma. Absolutely. So internship is another that way. Right, internship is another way to let your students do work on the real-time problems. But internship is again for 2 months, and my point is it should be a continuous relationship. And what happens is many times those people may not be able to provide internship as well. If the company do not have, they may take only 2 or 3 students. Rather than, you should involve many of the students by going for hackathons as well as makeathons. If you are from, in terms context of e-learning, as e-learning has become the new normal, and in fact I have seen that some of the speakers of some of the expert has taken sessions, who has taken sessions before me, has also talked about on this particular aspect. So one of the technology, in my view, that you can always look at is VR and AR. That means virtual reality and augmented reality. By the way, what is the difference between VR and AR? Hello. So I hope I'm audible.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So if you look at it, VR and AR is one domain, I think, where you can collaborate with the industry in order to develop the pedagogical content for your programs, because AR is the next big thing in the field of education. So I'll not say this metaverse and all this because I'll think this is there, but I'll show you the application of AR in education, and I'm going to show you in specifically in the medical domain. You can see, so the difference between VR and AR is, in virtual reality you are cut off from your current physical world and you are into another world which you think is the real world, though it's a virtual in nature. While in augmented reality, you interact with the virtual world or the digital content, but at the same time, you are in touch with the current physical environment. So let's look at one of the very interesting video, and you can see the application of AR in medical teaching domain. Even Indian government is now waking up to the potential of the augmented reality, and this is something they are giving a very big focus or big push or thrust in order to make our. So this is one area where I can suggest that you can join hands with some of the Manalal sir, I'll come to your queries. I think you have some queries, sir. Manalal sir. Hello. Yeah, you can say that, sir. What you have written here is probably yes. India do requires Walmartization of healthcare. That's what I'll call. In fact, this is the term coined by Dr. Devi Shetty, the founder of Narayan Hridayalaya. And what he says is the Walmartization. Walmartization means, I hope you can understand, Walmart is one of the biggest retailer of the world. And he says that India as a country requires Walmartization of healthcare domain. And yes, probably you are absolutely correct that I can definitely vouch what you have written in the chat box for per se. Right. So coming back to this, yes. So this is another area. So probably in the social commitment side, you can not only in the profitable side, but also in the not for profit side, you can also look it as a CSR activity of the of the firms, because the current CSR policy by government of India, which mandates that 2% of the company's revenue has to be plow back as a CSR activity, has to be earmarked as a CSR activity. Probably, so that again provides a large amount of areas where people can uh, take up and join hands with the academic institutes, and that not only will enrich the students' learning, but also will benefit the society in a big way. So like they can take social projects, or they can use social entrepreneurship as one of few of the domains. So this is something probably where again when you said the linkage between research and innovation. So innovation, so the companies, for companies, the ecosystems is very important. The innovation ecosystem is very important, and that's why again, if you look at it, government through its modes of setting up of business incubation centers in the educational institutes is trying to provide that kind of ecosystem where both industry and academia can collaborate again. So with this, what I'll say here, this is my last slide, probably I'll put it out. So you can see here that the collaboration, right, between academia and industry. Sorry, I don't know why this is running away. So academia and industry. So what academia can get is the practical industry experience from the industry, while industry can benefit from certain innovative ideas and design from the academia. So the academia and they can join hands together to identify the competencies and skill gaps that can help them to fill up the curriculum gaps. So curriculum gaps, and in also in those curriculum gaps there can be certain soft skill components can be built, as well as the practical experience will be enhanced. Please mind it, though I have said I am vouching for the industry and academia collaboration. As I already said, it's a double-edged sword, right? So whether you like to go with a very different industry or a company which is very similar in with the type of work that you do, that's again no straight jacket answer to that. But yes, definitely in today's time and in line with the NEP 2020, it definitely makes sense to incorporate industry linkages in your curriculum structuring. So another avenue probably that you can explore is your alumni network. I don't know, one of the major parameter that separates world-class institutes from an average educational institute is the importance given to the alumni as well as their alumni network. So if you look at either IITs, IIMs, or even other top-notch international institutes like Harvard's or MIT's and similar institutes, they all give huge weightage to their alumni and their network. So when you not only take care of your alumni, they will be, the people who can give you an excellent input while structuring your curriculum. So one of my suggestions would be to you is, if you want to invite some industry people as your board of studies member, it would be highly beneficial if you invite some of your alumni who are working into the corporate world from last few years. So with this, I'll stop here and I'll open the house for session for any queries.